Right, so time to do the rundown of the setup time whilst the map starts. This is PR Barnblitz, by the way. I'm sure you'll probably guess that from the title of the video. So I put exit out here. The reason I put that there is because you don't really need teleporters on first, in my opinion. It's a questionable point whether you need one or not, because the spawn's just right there and getting to the front isn't that difficult. I'm just going to show the first spot that I like to start off on. I will build a sentry gun to either level 2 or level 3 whilst it's here, and pretty much just leave it to its own devices. It's likely to get killed with an Uber or a spy sapping it, but if it doesn't straight away, obviously there's a sniper's watch from that right, with the left side. They watch from that side and they will try and snipe the sentry, but I think it's far enough over that it won't be shot from this bush. Relatively easy gun to take down, but when it's level 3 it's got enough health that it can sort of tank around for a bit. And I've been using the Frontier Justice quite a lot recently, so I'll tend to just let it get a few kills, blow it up, or let it get blown up, and then I'll build a barn in here. You can also build on the hillside just to my behind here. I'm just showing how quickly you can get stuff up. So I've got a level 3 sentry and a level 3 dispenser before the setup time's even finished being done. There's more metal in here. I do leave that dispenser on the hill sometimes. It varies depending on... Teammates can make good use of that, and holding this upper ground here makes it very hard for them to push into the barn here, which is generally where I have the sentry. I'll generally put my sentry about... You want to rotate this and get it as close to the edge as possible, because you can't get around it if you don't. Generally my sentry about here. If it's any further back than this, it will get stuck, and it does shoot some of the cart track at this angle before they can even get in the barn, and obviously it will cover this right door. Actually, I generally have it a little bit further in, I think, because it's stuck on nothing. Because the further away from that door it is, the less likely it is to get completely shredded by an Uber. You can have it on the hill here. It does cover the cart track, but they will cap the point before it gets up. And you've always got to worry about the... Well, where I'm facing now is to the right, this little area here where they can push in from. It's relatively close to the sentry, an Uber will get that down pretty quick. You can build on top of the boxes there. It's not a particularly useful spot. I'll show that you can real quick. So you can build up there. It doesn't do all that much. Start with the bushes, and then I'll either build in the barn or on that hilly area. I generally build in the barn. On the pro version of this map, there's a back door here, and it makes the barn ideal. As long as the spy doesn't come in, you can sort of rescue ranger, repair, and if it's taking too much damage and there's no way it's going to stay up, you can rescue ranger it and walk out this back door and build it on the little slanted roof there while you make your escape. Because odds are if they're capping the first point, your team's likely to be wiped. But that's comp advice, that's not particularly relevant here. That's just for the pro version. There's a couple of different variations of the pro version. I might do a quick rundown of that map at some point. But yeah, you can build on this hill as far back as possible. It will shoot guys coming up there depending on how far forward you build it. See with the range here. If you build it right back, it's not going to hit anybody, and snipers will tend to peek that ledge, so you need to build it about here for it to cover almost all of that point. I've seen this corner spot used before. I can't really vouch for it being particularly effective, because a good demo man will just peek this corner repeatedly, putting stickies on top of you. That's just... That first spot is just a good starting spot for it. Dispenser I'll move around between sort of there. Here's not bad. Up there with you's not bad. You can build in this lower area. I personally don't, because it makes it easier for people to come up that top to spam it out. But that's the first point really. If you can get, say if your sentry's here and you're taking far too much flak, you could always potentially rescue ranger it, and if there's no one watching the cart track particularly, you can move it here, but keep in mind I don't think it reaches. No, it doesn't have the range to cover that very far reach fully, I don't think. It's honestly difficult to tell from here. I think you can stand outside of its radius, but you can use the little wall there as cover. I've seen people destroy my sentries doing that before. There's that little raised platform there, and I've seen sentries built up there. I wouldn't recommend it, because I think you can get a line of sight from about here. Yeah. I've actually done this a few times and nobody expects it. If you get one of your sentries out of that barn or that there, or you're trying to retreat, you can always just plant a level 1 in this corner. It's even better if it's a level 2, but a level 1's fine. and it will completely and totally tear through people whilst you're backing off, because nobody expects to look in that corner. And at level 2 will do even more work. This second point is kind of good. I'm just going to cut this real quick and put it in tournament mode. I don't know why I don't do that at the start. Right, so this second point, if there's a sentry in that upper area, which I'm going to show in a moment, I've built in here before to make sure nobody can flank really, because people will come down that drop down when the cart's capped. There's no real way of getting up there before the cart is capped, sadly, because this gate's closed. If you could, I don't have SV cheats on. If you could get a sentry up here, sort of flying through the walls, it would probably be pretty difficult to take down, maybe in this little area here, or watching the stairs. It's a case of whether you can get one up there. You could always wrangle a jump or bullet jump up there with a level 1, but then you actually need the metal to build the level 1 again, or enough to rescue ranger it. I will attempt to demonstrate that now. Don't expect me to be able to do it successfully, because I'm terrible. So say you've just lost second point, or first point, sorry, and you want to get up here with the sentry. You could do something like this, but you have to be quick about it. So I'm up here now with the... If you're not clumsy, you can probably get a sentry up there. But, yeah, and I'm being interrupted.
Out of my way! Out of my way!
No fly. I'll talk to him later about that. But for the second point defense, in case you're wondering why I put that teleporter there, if you die at first, and first point gets captured, which is likely because if you're holding in that barn, your sentry goes down, they're going to cap first. You'll spawn up in that building up there. This tele exit is mainly for your benefit, but also for your teams. Because it's such a long walk comparatively, you can quite easily put down a tele entrance and either upgrade it while you're waiting there, or walk it and then use the tele entrance to the next death. Quick way back, and it also starts getting teammates funneling from the second spawn, which is a little bit further away. Also, it puts people up here with you, which is where you're going to want them generally, unless the team has pushed the cart and they're funneling through that left side there. That gate opens when they cap the, like, I don't know how to describe this. It's like the train cart stop point. It'll get here and then it'll sound a siren for a little bit, and then this right gate and this gate up here on the left will both open. At which point it opens up the flank up there and the drop down here, which will mean that your sentries become more at risk noticeably. Obviously they've got to get the cart through anyway. So the best spot for this, I'd argue, is the gun being up here, just on the corner, so it can't really take spam from that upper balcony. The higher the level the better. I personally put the dispenser generally about here, so it's easy access for me and the team if they're all holding up here. I've never really messed around with it. You could probably put it down, not really, because people will come from the left there. It might give you a preemptive warning. Arguably, the easiest way to counter this sentry spot that I don't see many people doing is going through this. If there's not many people down here, you can come up the stairwell here and get behind the engineer. Obviously, if you're a spy, that becomes even more easy, because you can just walk through the crowd, assuming they don't dance back and forth like this, and make it very hard for you to get past, and come up this stairwell. Some engineers will block the stairwell with the dispenser. I personally don't, and I honestly don't know why I don't. It's probably not a bad idea to do that. I've seen teleporter exits in various spots here. I've seen them at the top of the... Well, this is the entrance, but I'll use it as an example. I've seen them here to stop spies and stuff getting over without having to jump, but unless it's being sapped, there's no way of using it as an early detection. I've seen the exit here completely hidden from view, and this is probably arguably the best spot for it, as long as your team doesn't start dropping down here. You want them to come through and round ideally. I generally leave mine here, probably not the best spot for it, because it's simply exposed from that back area, and if people are spamming rockets, it's not going to hit the sentry necessarily, but they'll hit the teleporter. And they'll just make your job all the more harder. Potentially this corner as well, that's not a bad spot for it. People don't generally look to the left when they come up here, they'll look to the right going after the sentry, so they're coming up with an Uber. I'd argue that that spot where I've got it there, or the one in this corner here, Or probably the best spot for it. As for second, I've seen sentries in all kinds of devious places. I've seen them here, which might have limiting success with. I prefer it up there, but people are going to get caught by surprise by that. I've seen them here, which is perfectly fine, but that upper ledge is more likely to get you caught out by spam. And if someone sees, depending on how far you put this out, if you put it out, say here, which is slightly poorly placed, if I come around this corner, you can see that both the barrels of the turret from up there. I'd spot that and start spamming out the gun. Obviously the rescue range can counter that. If you actually position it properly, I believe you can't see it from back here. It's been upgraded. Yeah, you can't see it from back there. But obviously if someone knows it's there, all they have to do is just shoot into the corner. Whereas that one, it's going to be shooting back at them, assuming it's positioned well enough. But yeah, these are the various sentry spots. Potentially, if you can get one up there, you might have a good time holding. I've never really tried that method though. I've always built up here with relatively high levels of success. As long as someone's covering this stairwell and no one sneaks around behind you, it's very, very difficult. If you put a heavy here, for instance, or a pyro, well, pyro for the air blasting Ubers, but a heavy mainly, they're going to have a very hard time coming up these stairs unless it's a demo or a soldier or something and he can land his rockets well on the heavy. And the heavy isn't being forced out because the dispenser, you can just use it as a constant health kit for him. The dispenser back here will block people coming up these stairs, I believe. I will double check that in a moment by correct positioning. Which can be potentially useful for blocking people sneaking around behind you, but I prefer it on those stairs as it allows people to get heals right next to it whilst using the boxes as cover. Third is a... I don't know, I've always had a hard time holding third because, as you can see here, there's a lot of horizontal directioning to cover. And if you build up there, you're not covering down here, and if you build down there, you've got over there. I've seen sentries here, but the flaw with that is they can be peeked from that window. You can see there where I'm pointing my crosshair at the moment. They can be seen from down there, which I don't believe you have the range to cover. Get it in the right position, it's going to build. It does have the range to cover it slightly, but people can jump and peek it over the wall. You can be spammed from the cart track. It's a very, very difficult position to hold, and spies will have a glorious time coming up those stairs down there and coming around and working behind you. I've had reasonable success with building there. I've never really tried building here because whilst it does have good cover, I don't know how effective it'd be if enemies get up there and places like that. I may actually try that when I'm playing because that spot, whilst somewhat effective, is open to spam from particularly the upper window there, and because buildings take no... well, they take no crit damage, but they also take no damage fall off, so a soldier that would normally be doing about 23 will be doing about 90 to the sentry. I think he does 90. Yeah, because it 2 shots at level 2. Obviously there's a window there and a window there, and even with the Wrangler it's quite difficult to suppress them, especially with the recent sentry bullet damage nerf, which made them do less damage at higher range, up to a minimum of 8, and I believe at about this range it probably doing 8 damage compared to the usual 16. I do believe they made them do about 18 damage right up close though, so it's a bit of a buff and a bit of a nerf, more of a nerf though. It nerfed the Wrangler. And also the engineer's arm position was put right in the middle of the screen. Obviously this isn't an issue if you play with view models off, but for me, I personally like them on. It's all personal preference really. Other than that, there are probably a few different ones you could try. I don't know about how effective up there it'd be. That one I've never really tried personally. I will try this corner. A sentry here might be alright, but even then, let's blow this up and see what the range is like. You can be it might not be bad here, but then it's only going to cover the cart track until they've barely capped it or will cap it, and an Uber will not be seen coming, nor will it be easy to stop. Although this area is raised, unless they drop down on top of you. That's the problem with building over any of this side. You've got the potential of someone dropping on top of you, which is terrible. I don't know. Other than the various spots I've shown there, I will probably try this one in this corner for a laugh, because it seems like it might be effective, although once again it's the whole dropping down on. Personally, I generally build, let me get more metal real quick, I personally build about here most of the time, and I'll put a teleporter behind me and a dispenser either here, or I've seen it built by these milk jugs before, and it gives good healing to anybody who's just sort of peeking out of here and shooting. Depends how far the cart's pushed up and stuff like that. Other than that, I'd probably say that's third about covered as best as I can do, because third's a hard one to hold. First and second more than first. Second is probably one of the hardest points to get through on this map, other than last. Last can be a nightmare if the engineers know what they're doing. First is kind of, you have to sacrifice covering the cart track to do anything else on that map, and if you let people get outside of that door, it becomes very difficult to hold that sentry spot because there's no escape route and there's no way of sort of biding yourself some time after you've killed people. Other than that, this fourth point, I've had varying successes with the various sentries in here. What I've never tried is up here, because obviously it has to rotate 180 degrees and people will funnel up those stairs there. Potentially you could have some success with this if you put a teleporter up here with your teammates supporting you. Then it's got to spin around and cover the cart and that upper area up there, so I don't know how effective that is. There is a supposed jump spot here, which you can like parkour up this wall, but you have to go around this beam, and I'm terrible at jumping. This can be quite useful as a class that's, I think, it's still in the game. I honestly don't know how you do it though, 100%. You can get on that beam and then up there and then up there. There's like 3 jumps to it. You're better off with a heavy here rather than a sentry, because if they start spamming upwards, they can just hit the sentry with splash damage, and the heavy can actually retreat. Sentry can't as easily. There's various spots on this map that aren't bad. I don't think I've ever used this spot exactly, but sentry might be alright here. Obviously, well, that's probably why. Once again, the drop downs again. The standard comp one is... Was there a lip there? No. The standard comp one is to build back here and spam assorted bullets from over there and stuff. Ubers will generally come from the upper balcony area I was standing and potentially considering building on up there where I'm putting the crosshair. Ubers will generally come from there and you have to run all the way over here. I highly recommend watching what Sigafu did on last in the EU Nations Cup USA versus France, I believe. And he tanked a Ubered sentry right in front of him. Although it was just the heavy shooting at him. Or an Ubered heavy, not an Ubered sentry. That would be a thing to behold. But yeah, he tanked a heavy in front of him, which was quite ridiculous and one of the main reasons I started playing engie, to be honest. Other than that, there's that spot I've mentioned there with a level 3 and dispenser behind you generally. You can do some fancy things with teleporters on this one, potentially, if you can time rescue ranger pulls and stuff correctly. If you're getting harassed from, I occasionally will build up here, and it has a decent amount of effectiveness. The problem is that left area on snipers. It'll shoot at some people, but at the same time it's a picky bugger and will only shoot at some, not all. Depends on your positioning and depends on where they're standing relative to that column. Because it's a blind spot in the sentry's sort of sight line. If you position it where it is now, it will shoot to the left of it. Position where I had it before, it shoots to the right of it, but it can't do both. You can do all kinds of sneaky stuff here. You can sort of hop along these rafters. No, it's a little thin line. My jumping isn't the greatest in the world. Something else you can do that I discovered somewhat recently. I'm going to get this to level 2 real quickly and show. Well, not level 2, level 3, because I need the rockets, because I can't bullet jump any direction other than pure vertically. I need a slight bit of horizontal. You can do stuff with teleporters here, I'll show that as well. So you build an entrance up here. My favourite things to do also is block this doorway with the dispenser. It means, once again, same as the upward map. Spies can't get past that without shooting either you or the dispenser, which gives you a little bit of time to react, depending on how good they are with the revolver and how good you are at knee-jerk reaction strafing. I'll show you the tally thing in a moment. Right, this is level 3, so something you can do is hop up here, and you can heal this, and if you have enough metal you can pull it out of the way and hide up here. I don't know how effective the hiding part is, but the healing part's definitely pretty good. That's out of bounds, I believe. So you can walk along all of that beam up there. You can't walk along any more than that, though. So there's that you can potentially do if you get really bored of waiting around. And obviously you're still exposed to spies at that point, but you can always hop down. It doesn't do, I think it does about 50 if you do it well with the rockets. I'm kind of shit with them, so it ended up not doing them. Problem is here, I've now put the dispenser in my way. And you can crouch jump over that if you quit. But people don't think to crouch jump over stuff.
That was getting heavy.
Yeah, you can crouch jump over it, but sometimes it'll throw people off with the fact that they can't get round here, and they'll either shoot at you or it gives you a little bit of time to react. If you're being harassed so much that you have to get out of here, one thing you can do is, if you're standing back here rescue rangering, or if you've been wrangling like shooting over there and shooting over there, shooting over there, and you can tell your building's going to go down, you can back up here, stand on the telly, and be down here, and then put the sentry back down. Obviously the flaw with the rescue ranger is that you mark for death, but if anybody can track you through that, they're a better player than most, I'd say. Obviously you can't do that with a sapper attached, so that's one of the flaws of that. And other than that, yeah, I'd say that's probably about it for the defense of the various points on this. I honestly can't think of many good spots for 4th other than that back one, which is a nightmare to take down if it's done well. I've seen sentries here before that aren't bad, ones that just sort of peek this corner aren't terrible. In fact, this one is, I think you can do it up here, or you used to be able to. You might need the dispenser for this. Have I still got it up somewhere? Yeah, I can get it from here. I'm not blowing up stuff, I'm too lazy. Now I'm just wait for this to build, because animations. I've seen this before, which is odd, but it had some decent effect because they expect to come down that building, down that balcony and fight something. But the sentry's up there instead, and I believe it covers almost all of the cart track and some of that upper area up there as well. So it's not a bad spot, it's a weird one. I've had seen under the stairs before, and that's not too terrible once again the Ubers coming in. The two best spots that I've found are up there, but that's sniper fodder, and in this little lower area here, but a direct hit will counter that to some extent, but you don't see that all that often. Honestly, this is very much pick your poison sentry spot, because odds are you're going to be up against it if you're on last, and unless you either build probably, I don't know, it's difficult to say. There's obviously different teams will play different ways, so you can't really tell whether a sentry there or a sentry there is going to do better. Objectively, this is probably the best point for it though, and you've got to wrangle though, like almost entirely, to cover any ground. And you're also kind of boxed in here, so if a spy comes out the front, or if there's 2 or 3 of them, they're just going to run havoc. You're going to have to crouch jump over the sentry to even do anything. I believe I have a video where an engineer jumped over the sentry while I was wrangling it. I was dealing with an Uber and I blasted him with it, but I think that was a pro Barnblitz. I might link that in the description and try and find the exact timing, but I don't know how you do timestamps or anything like that. There's that, and I'll probably link Sigafu's USA versus France. So I've probably rambled on and made this even longer than I need to, and it's going to be longer than both my Upwood and my Frontier one, which is terrible because they were long enough as it is. But I've just sort of gone over most of the points that you can cover. As you can see, that shoots up there, cover over there. On the pro version of the map there is a door over there, and it can also shoot out of there I believe, but you can be sniped if you don't position the sentry properly, but I'll probably point out the subtle differences between pro and normal eventually. But yeah, that leads outside and around that ramp area. Other than that, yeah, that's probably about it for this, what's this even called? Like, preemptive, assorted sort of setup guide. I will do some live stuff and stick it on the end of this. Thank you for watching this part. If you want to see how effective any of these spots are, watch the next bit. If you don't, thanks for watching. I'm doing a terrible outro and I'm dragging it on. I should kill myself now. Oh, we're going from the beginning around. Let's see if I can do anything successful. I forgot my tally already. And so begins the long road to failure.
Teleporter going up.
Alright, let's see what we can do here. I have no idea what these teams are like because I've just joined the server and it's in the middle of setup, but whatever.
Building the sentry.
We'll go with up here for now. Oh god, really? Yeah, just run on.
Scout broke through to our spawn.
How much health does he have? I hit him with a wrench, I'm pretty sure. Hey, gold, there goes my telly aim because that scout ran past. This return of the frontier scout who just rode around destroying tellies. You're a spy, aren't you? Don't know if he dropped metal or not because I was full. There's the scout again. We're going to get around that sentry because I didn't build it too far forward. Spy did die, good. Pyre out that. Just gonna scout something. Don't know how long we're gonna hold this. Sounds like there's a heavy out there tearing it up. And he just died.
Incoming. Hey boy, it's a spy.
Thank you, Crit Wrench, you're the best. And there goes the sentry to a flare of all things because we're getting pushed out of here. I'm on fire. Oh, I get to live for now. Probably just back up to second. I have the feeling they're going to get this.
Sentry going up.
Tele exit in here. Go back to spawn to grab the entrance real quick because I didn't die, so I need to build another. So you can see that was kind of a rushed hole on third. It's very difficult to fight off like 3 spies at once. I like the fact you can go into spawns that you don't technically own yet. It's pretty good. Fall off there so I don't take fall damage. Once again, I know I'm preempting this a bit, but we'll see how it goes. I get the feeling they'll cap this though when they get a decent aggression on. He's not a spy because he walked through me. There's one thing you gotta know: your teammate can walk through you, he's not a spy.
Dispenser going up. Go, go, go.
Go forward and go forward. Go forward. Go to spawn and go forward. Keep your poison. Right.
I'm moving this.
Oh god damn it. Nope, changed my mind. I was gonna go and put it in that corner.
There wasn't getting any
But
lighter.
turns out that wasn't a good idea. This demo is gonna completely rely on my dispenser, so I'm gonna heal him up fully. Get us to level 2. So this is where you can hold for absolutely ages, as long as the team keeps coming through the teleporter and as long as they don't get too aggressive. That's the exit dude, you might want to go fight some people.
Keep going.
So hopefully, assuming I don't get backstabbed, we should be able to hold this point for absolutely yonks. I didn't really get to show first pointers quite as successfully as I wanted to, but... And I'm going to get no help for this, am I? I do have a Pybro though, with a home wrecker. This is going to make my job relatively easy. And he obviously knows how good this spot is. I was going to try and reflect sentry rockets back at me, I think. Well, he's dead. I'm assuming that somebody died. They are pushing this hard. I'm standing back a bit. I'll get their aggressive on this guy's charging flaming huntsman arrows. Not sure who this is killing exactly. Everybody, hopefully. Sounds like it.
Hey boys, it's a spy.
So the strategy here just to sit up here for as long as possible. Hold this point, which we should be able to do. The team seems to be playing around my dispenser and sentry, so... Oh, and a well-placed flank, which should be good here. They have a lot of spies. Just trying to pin that heavy to the wall. Probably shouldn't be wasting rescue range bolts though. Spies and pyros by looks of things. I think there's a heavy down there on the left. revenge crits, so he's an actual engineer. Can't fake those, I don't think. Probably check that. That's something I don't honestly know, whether you can actually fake revenge crits if he disguises the engineer with the frontier justice. Generally, the spy will pull out the ambi because this game's logic. That's not a spy. Or the bolts make a hit sound. It's one of the weird things about the rescue ranger that makes it even better. The fact that the bolts don't make a sound when they hit. Or the fact that the bolts do make a sound. Okay, it's not sniping. Apparently my wrench is going to register. You can blast these guys with rockets because of the angling. Borodin's up there, then he's just killed all of them. I think he's the pyro. Check that scout by his movement speed. Heavy's just going to camp the stairs with the Hugo long. Yeah, we've got this point pretty much locked down. See, if your team plays around you on this point, you can lock this down forever. I think our team's actually pushed up further forward than probably should be. It's the advantage of the dispenser, it can heal more than one person, but so they've only got one on it. Heavy down below is going to die almost instantly. Teams aren't clearing out just yet. We're sort of on this stairwell to block anybody coming up it. If it's an invisible spy or anything like that. See, our team's got further forward now because we had an aggressive hold. Now they're just kind of falling back when they need to.
Alrighty then.
I think they've got a tele up unless that's ours. Might be ours. Scout came through it. Pirates spy checking for me. Very nice of them. Yeah, 2 of them. I got caught by fire there, but it doesn't matter that much. Just got the dispenser, but he put me out anyway. Should really be finding these down over here. Guys just running out of spy checking, although even if a spy saps all my stuff, as long as I survive at this point, I can probably have a level 3 up very quickly. I've got both mana going out. If I wanted to, I could probably get aggressive with the sentry, but it's floating mini crits and I don't get it. I'm gonna go see how far up we are. Obviously this is a risk because it'll leave my sentry completely exposed, but actually we are quite a way up here. Can you get that sentry in the corner? Quick. And then suddenly everybody's on mine. So I've left that level 3 in that corner now. Theory should just tear it up. While I stand as far back as possible and let it shoot all the people it sees. I just saw it, I don't know where the huntsman arrow came from. I'm standing here though. Make sure I'm not easy to see. Watch out for spies. That sounds like an Uber. I don't have enough metal to rescue into this. And of course, let's see how close I can get big in here. That's spy engie. And of course I managed to get another one. At least someone killed him. Time to get out. The rebuild.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
So we're probably going to hold this second point here. I will have to wait to get footage of third or go in their team potentially. Third and fourth. Well, third's kind of shit to hold, but fourth's better. They're getting aggressive here. You're a spy. Yeah, it's good for you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? See, he should have danced around for a bit longer and he would have had a chance of actually breaking my stuff there. I just hit the sapper once, so it's only at 50 health because they count as buildings technically. And then I dealt with the spy accordingly. I think he was weakened though, I only hit him with 1 wrench swing. I'm getting this upgraded to 3 actually. I'm noticing bits on my pad. I should probably mute that guy. But I've got a point to hold.
Move them out.
Mission ends in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3,
Just give him a high five.
Yeah.
1. Overtime.
That demo's a spy. Nice job, partner.
Victory.
Yeah. So that's what an engineer can do on the second point on this map. It becomes an absolute nightmare to push even with Ubers. They have to come up that stairwell over on the left there generally to actually do anything. Alright, we're gonna go. Don't go that way.
Enemy has received additional time.
Don't go far forward. Don't go too far forward for it. So it's really viable.
Sentry going up. Hey boys, it's a spy. Dispenser going up.
Well, team's still getting picked off.
Help me!
Can't really defend this third point very well, I don't think.
Spy stepping spy around here. Incoming.
Fuck this demo.
I need some doggone help.
Sometimes it just works to get super aggressive with a wrench. Nobody expects that shit.
I'm moving this. Go on, hit. Incoming.
I'm just gonna brute force this point, I think. I get body shot. See if I can get creative here. Just hop across,
Backing up.
bring a sentry, put it in the corner.
That pyro's a spy.
Red tape! No, it's degrade. What the fuck? Why is it out of ammo? Oh my god, the bugs. The fucking bugs. With degrading and upgrading sentries and shit. It's so broken.
Teleporter coming right up.
That thing's half empty. I'm gonna go get an entrance out. Seem to have pushed them back for a bit.
Move 'em out.
Nobody expects it. And there's a spy sapping it. And I'm not gonna get back in time. Busy building teleporters trying to be useful.
Spy sapping minus.
Oh, well, that's cool.
That medic's a spy.
Don't need an entrance anyway. I'll save the dispenser, I guess, because nobody's watching for
Sentry
spies.
going up. Boo.
And there's a soldier up there now, camping it.
Thanks, mister.
Thank you, Beardy Sword, with your great armor. Don't know where people are, I don't know why they're not protecting the medics, but they're not. Why there's times one on the car, why I don't have a tele entrance.
Teleporter going up. Help me!
So you're seeing various sort of abilities of this sentry spot, and where it's flawed and where it's not. I was just trying to get a teleporter exit up because our team's going to need one. Just have a level 2 for now. Soldier up there. A real shitbag and break my teleporter exit. It's not even upgraded yet. Really should be taking that 200, right? Never mind! I was going to go and try something risky, but of course the douchebag with the black box is now on soldier. He's just going to keep spamming my sentry out. Oh, I'm going to build over here where he can't hit it.
Building the sentry. Backing up.
Go on, shoot me again. Keep trying to break my buildings, I'll wait all day or day, I don't give a shit. The black box can't do shit to them.
There's a spy creeping around here.
Yeah, I know you're spy.
Spy around here. What'd you like? Incoming.
Yep, keep wasting your rockets, ain't gonna do piss all. Oh, someone's got a direct hit. Or something like that. It's a level 2 asshole. Can't add damage this. Good old rescue ranger. Snipers now spamming it out. Just get up there and deal with them. Demo coming in. Oh, cool.
Hey boys, it's a spy.
This is why you can't rely on teammates. Because teammates are fucking shitbags. There's my dispenser down. And there's the body shot to finish it all off. This is why you don't play Barnblitz with teammates who are garbage. I want to build in that corner, but I'm getting harassed by spies, snipers and soldiers. That's why third point's a bitch to defend. See if I can get this upper area locked.
Sentry going up.
Quick about it though, because there's going to be a spy in my ass in like 3 seconds, no doubt. Pyro's already killing that medic. This is going to be a very weak defensive fourth, I think. Because I'm barely going to have time to get metal. There's already a guy across the way there. I think he's using an actual launcher. Please, guys, do something useful. I'm going to run out of metal here. Sniper's spamming it. Not sure where from. Doesn't matter. Level 2 at least. Spencer in the doorway. Third is a nightmare to hold in this map, especially when you're in a situation like that. If no one keeps that upper area locked down, you're fucked. That's a spy hopping around over there. I know that for a fact. So you can get a hippie halfway. Hello. Hello, I'm on your head. Now you're dead. Away from friends, boy. Now ideally I want to get a telly up and an escape route. You seem to be having issues hitting it. I approve of this exploit. You can't hit my sentry, and I honestly don't know why, but I'll take it. And he hits me when I'm around a corner. You keep spamming it out. You keep spamming it out, you fucking arsehole. I'll go soldier and jump right up there and shove a freaking rocket up you. Do that real quick. Apologies for this, but I just want to kill this guy. Don't worry, you can stab that if you like. It's not going to stay up there long. Use it as health, I don't care. Do either. You still up here, Mr. Sniper? No? Okay, going back to test me. Going back to engineer. No Avengers killing our entire team. Hello, spy. That's spy's cool. We're gonna lose here because our team's garbage. There's a guy with the rocket launcher again, and I don't have enough metal. Yes, I do. Trying to get a level 1 up here as a last minute defense. Not gonna work though. Come on, sentry, don't be a shitbag. Not going up the ramp. No, well, there you go. There's domination. So that, in summary, ladies and gentlemen, is why having bad team sucks, dude. So I'm just gonna like run behind all these guys whilst reloading the rescue ranger. Oh well, did it best. 3 DOMs, 25 and 7 on 3rd and 4th, pretty much. Oh well. Yeah, that was a decent defense, I'd say. I guess what? I was going to record for red, but then the map changed. Outtake number 1. I'm going to jump on blue team and attempt to get a 3rd point. No, I'm not, because the map's changing. Hey, look, another outtake.